on the left hand side of your screen, we have the team of ArthasS Stroitheim. We have ZW Hydra on the Uther again, unstable, playing that Sergeant Hammer BKB on his beloved ETC. Sebkaya playing the flex role on that Malfurion. Andy Lendy on the Valor instead of the Jaina, and that rounds out the team of ArthasS. Whereas mouse control, we're going to see them on the red hand side. Solid SMD playing the Vikings. That's Olaf Balog and Eric Griskel on the Illidan. Pradin on the Rhaegar. Zinwin playing Sylvanas, and Philiberke on the Muradin to round their lineup off. And we're going to see a 4-man lane in this top part of the map. And I like this because they have the Sylvanas here, and they're going to go straight for this. Andy Lendy, they know about this one now. Sebkaya's here too. And now we're seeing Andy Lendy come in here, trying to get some damage down. Zinwin takes some, and we actually saw ArthasS try this tactic with their own Sylvanas on Blackheart's Bay, and they actually ended up getting punished for it. This time though, they're not going to punish the side of mouse control, just going to try and de-push this. One tower already down to half HP. Olaf does fall in this mid lane, however, and that's a lot of XP they're going to move. And straight away we see Griskel having to rotate down towards the mid lane. And they're going to need to do something about this hammer here, going to town on this bottom tower. Solid SMD trying his best to soak these minions out here, but really can't do too much because of the hammer damage. Can just throw some daggers towards Hydra, but that's about it, as we have Olaf back in this mid lane. And some form of resistance in this top lane, 2 versus 3, as Eric in fact goes down in this bottom lane. Just Balog now trying to defend against this one. Olaf falling again in the mid lane here, really giving these Vikings a bit of a hard time. Andy Lendy going down very low in this top lane after they drop Malfurion as well. These are 2 towers going to be falling. Lendy taking even more damage there. Griskel could happily try and jump over here, use that evasion to dodge any attacks. Dive. There's the sweeping strike, but can't do it. Wasn't in range. Gonna fall as well. I don't think his invasion was up there. Would have been so good for him, but unfortunately did fall a little bit overzealous there. We actually have ETC rotating up into this top lane as well. They could look to engage if Sebkaya gets a root down. Gonna try and go on to Zinwin. They do land the root. That stops the Haunting Shadows going through. Trying to get damage down. He is dropping very low. One more auto attack or a power slide, but it's not going to be enough. Cooldowns are not up for BKB there. As again, we now have Andy Lendy rotating to try and deal with Solid SMD, who's had a lot of trouble in this mid lane. You can already see he's taking a lot of damage there, just missed micro in a little bit, having to focus a lot on this Balog down in the bot lane, who again is going to fall down. And this XP lead is just keeping on growing here for ArthasS. A whole half a level now, so early on. We have BKB again coming up into this top lane with Hydra. They try going on to Griskel. As we have 4 players now up in this top lane for mouse control, but the tribute is down in the bottom half of the map, right in the middle. And Andy Lendy should be able to channel this one rather swiftly. 3 minutes does mean that the boss spawns as well here off to the left. And there it is. They're just going to hold their lanes, try and regain this XP back that they are so desperately needing. Half a level behind now. Not looking great for them. They really need to find something here. And if you fall behind against a hammer comp, you find it extremely hard to try and get an engage up against a sieged up hammer. Like down here, what can Olaf do? They can't do anything. Eric steps near, 2 shots and he's dead. Olaf steps near. In fact, he's just going to bypass Unstable completely there. Takes some hits. We do have the 3 Vikings down here, but in the top lane, ZW Hydra trying to go onto Muradin. He's just going to jump away from that one and get out to safety. It's tribute time again here, and again it's not good for mouse control. It is down in this bottom lane again. We have 2 Vikings falling. Unstable looking to make it a 3. Trying to get some damage down on Solid SMD, but this again in ArthasS territory. They know they don't even have to go for this. They can play safe. Muradin going down in this top lane. 3.75 kills now to 1. Balog goes down. This is going to be the second tribute coming over to BKB. I feel as if the Vikings really aren't up to par right now, and I actually see the Elun's Grace talent coming out from Malfurion, getting those long range roots down, trying to lock up the back line from safety. Really like that. The double heal as well. Nothing too out of the ordinary when it comes to talents right now, especially for ArthasS. So we have BKB going very aggressive here. Eric falling again here. Let's take a quick look at deaths. We have 2 deaths in total for the Vikings, which means they have died 8 times? Yeah, 8 times. As Griscold again trying to trade with BKB here, but BKB so tanky right now, has a lot of damage to put back onto Griscold as well. He's really just going to win this trade. Griscold having to pop that first aid as well, using the evasion to get that added shield bonus. And even after that first aid, they still trade evenly. It's really not great for Griscold here, in a very bad position. And this is the only favourable trade, or only favourable tribute, sorry, that Mouse Control are going to get. ArthasS know this, they know they don't have to go for this, they're going to grab their boss. Andy, Lendy, Sebkai and Unstable, they have a lot of damage coming down here. BKB moving down to tank, ZW Hydra providing some pressure into this top lane with the Siege Giants. It is going to take some damage. And we actually have the Vikings scouting this one out, but Balog taking a lot of damage again there. Really hard for these guys to really do anything here. Griscold dodging out that one. They are taking their boss, but they now come up against some resistance. Level 10 is very near as well. And if they... There it is, level 10 coming in. This is not what they want to see. Braden getting stunned up. Gets destroyed by the boss there. We have the Napalm, the Strafe coming in as well. The Twilight Dream. That's what I was thinking could potentially come in here. That's for the reason for the double support, and we're going to see the Divine Shield come out of Uther. The Twilight Dream, as soon as Illidan jumps in, boom. You pop that from Malfurion. He goes down. Illidan gets silenced, so can't move and can't activate first aid either. Becomes so squishy. Really relies on that Rhaegar for the support. As we actually have Mouse Control trying to grab this tribute early on here, but Andy Lendy is going to be here to stop this one. And just try and delay it as long as possible. Trying to go for it again, using the strafe, but not actually getting any shots off. As they're going to try and extend their lead here, ArthasS, by pushing with this boss. They grab 1 tower, they grab 2 towers, and probably a gate with this as well. They could look to engage. BKB actually going for the mosh pit as well, rather than the stage dive, because what CC is there? There's a Muradin arrow, Muradin hammer, sorry, and the Sylvanas arrow. You grab Muradin, there's only one form of interrupt. Could be very scary when we come to a straight up team fight, as now the heroics are coming in. We have the Ancestral, the Avatar, of course. We see Griscold coming in. He gets silenced straight away, but he's in fact able to walk straight away from that one. Metamorphosis to come back in here. Hydra taking a lot of damage. Divine Shield being used on himself, having to heal himself up as well. Eric goes down. Hydra being saved by his team, then goes down. As we have the Vikings being rather low, they can't use the boat because it will be so low on HP. Strafe now being used, and there it is. The Viking boat getting absolutely melted down here. BKB is going to get the double kill on that one. Filiberka on the Muradin, his trait is going to pop. That was a 2 Vikings for 1 Uther trade. And you'd like to think they're going to follow this one up with the tribute. Griscold trying to come in here onto Andy Lendy. He does get snared up and CC'd by BKB. The Ancestral was available, but so much burst damage came in from the side there that it just wasn't even worth trying to channel that as this fort goes down. Unstable moving back to try and grab this tribute, but Zinwin getting engaged upon. Really nice 2-man mosh pit, not able to use the Haunting Wave. A lot of damage coming down here. That's what they needed. The 2 players that could interrupt did get caught out. Filiberka falling back from that one, and the team of Mouse Control are now cursed as well. Easy objective control coming in now. Unstable just going to siege up. They have to force the engage now. A talent behind, it's not what you want to be. You never want to be a talent behind against a Sergeant Hammer. You put so much pressure on yourself now to try and get an engage off, but the only hard engage they have is the Muradin and Illidan. Illidan isn't exactly hard engage. He's a jump in, get damage down, and that's about it. as this keep is going to be the next thing to fall. The Vikings, their longboat raid is up in a mere 3 seconds. They could look to engage. Filiberka, though, taking a lot of damage, is going to get knocked back. The Ancestral isn't going to come in time, and that's off cooldown for another 8 seconds. And now Twilight Dream coming in, doesn't actually silence anyone, but the Viking longbow is going to get taken down again here, not being used too effectively. Strafe coming in, Griskel taking a lot of damage. That's all 3 Vikings down. This keep going to go down. They are cursed for another 5 seconds. Bottom keep will be the next target, as they've already had minions coming down here. And that one is going to fall down round about now. As the top keep also exposed, we could see 3 keeps go down in very quick succession, as ArthasS now have their 16 talent before Mouse Control even have their 13. It's really not looking good for them. Hammer going for that Executioner because they have the CC. Mosh Pit plus Executioner is so much damage coming in. Really, really scary, as now we see the level 13 talent come in for the side of Mouse Control. Now, ArthasS fall back, grab their hard camp. Their boss is up in 2 seconds as well. They're going to rotate towards here, and then they could look to push for the end with this. As we also have 20 seconds on the Mouse Control boss. So right now, ArthasS have 2 options. They take their boss, they push with it, they try and end. Or they take their boss safely, take a fight here onto Filiberka, who's gonna be able to actually get out of that one. Griskel gets knocked back. They could now go and make a move for the boss of Mouse Control, but Filiberka's actually going to get stunned up. Ancestral again! Not going to be able to activate there. Does get cancelled out because Filiberka did fall. And now 5 versus 4. You'd like to think they're going to end. Just let Hammer Siege up. Let Valor do her job as well. If ETC gets a mosh pit going as well, then it will be so good. Now the only threat being Sylvanas. That Wailing Arrow also still off cooldown. So really, BKB, if he wants a mosh pit, he needs to get Sylvanas in it as well. But this core now taking severe damage, down to 80%. There it is, Wailing Arrow coming in, Unstable taking a lot of damage, but that mosh pit is good. Divine Shield, sorry, being used as well. Boss still doing so much damage. Metamorphosis coming in, but it won't be enough. Core down to 15% now, and that is going to be the game. ArthasS Storytime taking this one. Moving on to tonight's semi-final. They take down Mouse Control, level 17 to 14 in a 12-minute game on the Cursed Hollow. Really nice play from them. The Vikings' early game really wasn't ideal. They died way too often early on there, and it showed as they moved on to the later stages of the game. Guys, again, we're going to take a very short break while we get this game set up. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a few minutes.